Man, I was wrong. I was wrong on this Bitcoin chart. This is Bitcoin on the daily chart, a nice picture. First thing I just want to notice before we talk about how I was so wrong. Just the other day, 5 days ago, this was a video. I'm not going to show you a clip, but this is just a snapshot of the video. This was 2 weeks ago, March 19th. I don't know if you remember Bitcoin breaking into this, we call it the red zone, this resistance area, kind of this new consolidation, speculative consolidation setup. What I didn't want to happen, or I didn't feel like it. None of us like this consolidation, sideways trading of Bitcoin. What I didn't want to happen has happened. So that's 2 weeks ago on the daily chart for Bitcoin. And this is now. It's just consolidation. Obviously, it would have been great to see just continued upside as we broke into this red zone and just blast through that area. But we're getting the consolidation that we discussed, and it's making us wait. It's making us kind of have to obtain some patience here. Let's talk about where I was wrong. And as I dive into this, everybody, please hit that subscribe, hit the like button, and let's look at what's going on with Bitcoin, targets on the shorter term, and the setup that is now in play for Bitcoin as it does make us wait. This was from 5 days ago, March 29th. Check this really quick clip out, really quick. Is a move like this possible? Yes. Is it likely? I don't think so. In this video, I want to break. So that was 5 days ago. I was basically saying, is this possible? Just the continued sideways consolidation, some type of structure as Bitcoin just tries to find its support above this trend line that you see here. And that trend line, if you remember, is, as we zoom out, it's the upper trend line of a pretty large rising channel that we see there, right? So breakout target, it's still up there, $40,000 to the upside, but it's consolidating right now above that trend line. We want to see support. We want to see revisits to support. You can even just, as you look at the chart on the daily right now, you see the revisit to that support area, bouncing to the upside, revisit back to the downside. So I was wrong. We're getting the exact consolidation. I thought Bitcoin, from what I was seeing on some of the zoomed in charts, I thought Bitcoin was actually getting ready to make a move, explosive move, and that was on the 29th through the downside or to the upside, and it just didn't happen. We've been pretty much sideways. And not only that, if you just take note of the price, $28,200, right around there, that clip from even 2 weeks ago when we entered this area was right around the same price. So just look at how much speculation and time we put into technical analysis and anticipating all scenarios. Just look at how much time, and we're still just at the same price. But in my opinion, that's okay, because we're engaged on these charts, and we're mentally prepared for all scenarios. So let's talk about Bitcoin right now. The reason I was wrong was just because it is consolidating. But what I was looking at, namely, was the very fact that there's this bearish divergence on the Bitcoin charts, right? So on the 6 hour, lower highs on the momentum, but higher highs on price. And then the same exact thing was kind of happening back here at the top of that last consolidation area before the fall. And then even back here at the top of that last consolidation before the fall. So all of these things were really setting up on the very short term, Bitcoin looking like it's ready to make a very similar move that it was making back there, but it hasn't happened, and Bitcoin just still sideways. Now, let's start going to the daily chart to kind of get some clues now what is actually happening and the setup of structure. So as we anticipated, Bitcoin saw a resistance area of like the $28,000 to $30,000 area, but all of this space up here, I think, kind of distracts from the actual structure that's on the chart. I want to move the triangle down at this point because we see pretty clear resistance on Bitcoin. And you can just see all of these wicks, and this is a daily chart, all of these wicks up here. And we kind of have some higher, low momentum on this chart as well. So kind of an ascending triangle still, but it is a smaller one, right? But maybe you can move it up the upper trend line a little because we do have these wicks up here. But let's just call it just resistance at this area, breakout target to the upside right around 32, breakout target to the downside right around 25 or so. That's important because what do we have? We have the 50-day moving average kind of in this $25,000 vicinity. So if Bitcoin were to just kind of trickle down now, we have Bitcoin meeting the 50-day moving average, which is a critical area of support that we want to see for Bitcoin. Right now, it's probably important to note it is seeing some support at the 20-day moving average. So we're going to continue to monitor if that will hold. Before we talk about upside, we have that target to the downside out of this structure, but I want to just point something out that I noticed. We see Bitcoin kind of hovering at the 20-day moving average back here before that last fall, and back here before that fall of consolidation. And then if we open up our momentum oscillators, what was happening? Bitcoin was falling right into oversold territory on the quicker moving momentum oscillator. See, as it's testing the 20-day before the fall. And then even back here, it's testing the 20-day before the fall, was falling into the oversold area. What's Bitcoin doing? It's in the oversold area on the stock RSI, testing the 20-day. So the setup from a momentum perspective, especially quicker moving momentum oscillator, the setup for Bitcoin to actually fall, it's sitting there right now for us. I'm not going to say it's getting ready to happen. I'm going to just anticipate that it could happen because the similarities are so strong on the charts. But because we have those similarities, we also have this actually previous data, these other two data points, and what I'm talking about is this, and there is similarities for Bitcoin to fall, but we have those data points to suggest, well, if Bitcoin actually diverges now from these moves, starts actually seeing support at the 20-day, and not only that, coming back up and maybe even breaking out of this upper trend line resistance around 28,005 to around 29,000, then we have a divergence, a bullish kind of divergence on this Bitcoin chart where Bitcoin doing something different. That could be the bullish confirmation we're looking for Bitcoin to continue to the upside, $32,000 to the upside. Now, at the end of the day, these markets, everybody, are just, they're so crazy right now. I've never seen such indecisiveness. We see indecisiveness in Bitcoin and crypto all the time, but I've never seen such indecisiveness in Bitcoin, the stock market, the US dollar currency index, all the while, all of these things. Inflation, there's indecisiveness with inflation. We track Trueflation, which is kind of, and look, this was 3.98% last time I refreshed, but let's refresh this. It was trending down. Let's refresh it. Now it's trending back up. There's indecisiveness there. This is kind of a leading inflation indicator, on-chain metrics using Oracle data by Trueflation. This is a little weird, right? That's trending back up now. So all of these things, there is such unknown in these markets right now while Bitcoin consolidates. So everybody, I'm not going to even say what I think is likely. I'm just going to have my targets. It's $32,000 to the upside, and to the downside, it's kind of in this 50-day moving average range around $25,000. And I'm just going to watch and track the consolidation of Bitcoin in this zone that it's in. Remember, above this upper trend line, still holding support, 20-day moving average still holding support, but we need to see that breakout through this resistance area that Bitcoin has been seeing at this upper trend line on the daily. So those are my thoughts on Bitcoin, kind of a Bitcoin price update as it kind of still just trades sideways. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, everybody. Please hit that subscribe, hit the like. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.